holding movie theater, like having a venue at a town in the game where you can actually go in and watch a movie, like a movie theater in with your friends in game, from wherever they're, because people will be building relationships here. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be finding a brand new friend in Brazil or in Spain.
Over under 2 years from now for the first Cornucopias marriage.
Yeah, exactly. Where did you meet Cornucopias? Yeah, we got married in game. Like
exactly.
it'd be insane, right? So
I mean, I think already for anybody that has been here from the beginning or close to it, we are pretty darn close and pretty tied together in our experiences. So.
Welcome to Around the Corn, presented by the Knights Guild. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, because getting likes and subscriptions are not only the best part of our day, it's the best part of our week, month, year. So let us get as many of those as we can. If you want to hear us speculate wildly on something in-game, throw your questions in the comment, and next episode, Eddie and I will pretend to know the answers. Follow us and the Knights Guild on X. You can also learn a ton about the Knights Guild on Discord and the Guild website. All the links you need are in the description. I'm your host, Faux Hubris. As always, I'm joined by the head of the Juggernaut Teamsters Union, Eddie Z. Eddie, how's it going?
The head of what was that? The Teamsters?
Juggernaut Teamsters Union. That's what you're doing. You're going to organize against us and start your Juggernaut empire.
Yeah, I mean, well, thankfully I got one. Thankfully, I mean, I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah,
they sold out on Cardano, right,
yeah,
COPIBoar.
Well, you're announcing our guests there, so
yeah.
we got our guest today. Especially, I mean, you can see him on screen, COPIBoar. We drug him in here to kind of cooling up the place. How you doing, COPIBoar? Welcome to Around the Corn.
I'm doing well. I wasn't sure if I was invisible at this point or if I was actually on.
Well, now you are visible with the magic of editing. You've appeared.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me here. It's an honor, sir. Sirs.
It's an honor having you. You're one of my earliest community friends. We've had lots of conversations over the years about everything about the game to crypto to life in general, and I'm really happy to have you here. I consider you one of my closest buddies in the community. If I wasn't doing this with Eddie, I probably would have begged you to do it. So it's I'm really glad to have you here.
Yeah, right on. It's fun to see this all come full circle, and it was really fun to see you guys come alive, and then really, I mean, you did not mess around in any means. Very professional. I've always given you guys the accolades of
thank you
entertainment, professionalism, and just overall wonderful production.
Yeah.
So
and
we're
well just done, dumb enough to be ridiculous sometimes. We got the right balance of stupidity and hard work. So. Yeah. And it's funny because you were doing your own content, and then I think so the Cornucopias team saw you and scooped you up, and now you are an insider. And I know you're probably got to be careful in the things that you say. So today we're just going to keep our discussions to the kind of events you're having, but it's cool knowing who you are and the kind of person you are, and that you were pulled into it. What's that been like for you, man? Being on the outside and now on the inside. He's you got an hour, right?
Yeah, that's a story in itself. Even when before we started recording, I end up having a separate conversation in my head, listening to you guys on things I want to say out loud, but I can't say out loud. So, what has it been? It's been one of the best experiences of my life. It's I love process. I love learning things, and I'm extremely passionate about things, and it's really tied all those things together, and I don't even know where to start. But yeah, being able to be pulled into different departments within Cornucopias and seeing behind the curtain, it's been an experience to say the least.
Yeah, I bet you've given yourself a whole third or fourth education over the last year.
Yeah, you could say that. And Scruffy is it? Shout out to Scruffy. That guy is a great teacher. He started teaching me on the channel, and then I work with him in QA now and in marketing. And man, that guy is a wealth of information. I've learned so much. And like I was saying to you, Faux, I didn't even have a PC prior to Cornucopias. I was a Mac man, so
yeah.
Yeah,
we both went out and got PCs around the same time to be able to play the game. I think. Yeah, I remember that having those conversations. Yeah, and look at us now. we're like, on TV.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm on the same boat. I mean, I did the exact same thing. I wanted to, I've always said I'm gonna get a PC game. Like I'm gonna become a PC gamer at some point. But I kept buying consoles over the years, so I still kept doing it. And then finally, with Cornucopias coming out, I was like, you know what? It's time to do it. I'm gonna invest, get a nice PC, set it up. Didn't think I was gonna be doing this whole streaming thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of evolved. I mean, I other than build, playing games, I also did want to do something with it, right? So with the PC, next thing you know, content creation became a thing. I mean, I loved the game, fell in love with the game, then I met Faux here. Next thing you know, it's a wrap.
Well, but in addition to that, you've been like super explorative in this area. And so, where did you bring us today? Because I always kind of like to defer to you. What town are we in?
Yeah, right now we're in Fox Hollow.
Fox Hollow.
So more than likely, this is probably Rob's favorite location. I'm assuming, based on what I know. But right now we're in the northeast side of it. Seems like it's like split up into 4 different quadrants. We got the northeast, the northwest, the southeast, and the southwest. It just seems like it's kind of divided. And you have like the crater part of this. I'm gonna mark the center of the map.
Why don't you take us over to where we want to start, and then I can talk to Kopi along the way about the events you've got going on, because you've been doing a lot of stuff. I mean, I think it kind of started with the movie trivia night, and then it's just from there it's kind of like one event after another, then the racing, and now we've got like the jetpack racing. So what's going on with all that? What do we need to let the people know?
I'd say a lot of it right now is just kind of like poking around and testing, see what works. What we're really building on is the processes and kind of imagining what this is going to look like when we're able to scale the servers properly, and then bring in larger communities. So we have a lot of that in the works and the plans. And right now it's just kind of getting a feel for the process and seeing what excites people. But the game is going to evolve as we go, and it has evolved as we go. So that's kind of it's going to make my job easier with every build, because they'll get more exciting in the more internal game loops.
So I mean, like so I can see how it's like every iteration of the game you probably get to test new ideas for events, new ideas for content. So how is the jetpack racing going? Do you feel like that was a solid one, or do you think it's like back to the drawing board for a different event?
Well, I think Rob alluded to this as well. This is one of those things we are kind of gathering information for. So I would say the first one in Solus was, to me, I'm my worst critic, I think, but I think Solus was not my favorite. I like the one in Toledo where you're doing some more parkour type things.
Yeah. You have the holocaches too, to make it a more interesting event, I think. And I think Rob has said that they're all 100 holocaches will be changed in the next build, so that should give you a bunch of opportunities to
he's alluded to it as well. That's more of, the holocaches are a tool to be able to do certain other things as well. So I think we got nothing but exciting changes to look forward to.
Eddie, where are we at right now? We got some land plots down there.
Yeah, no, I'm basically, as you guys are talking, I am actually reporting this collision bug here on this rock.
Oh yeah, good for you, because I noticed it, and I totally just glazed over the fact that we were in the rock. So.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you need to report these out there, because you want it to be crisp, but you want them to be able to at least touch it up later on, and so that way people can really enjoy this game. That's what I really want. So. But we're right in the middle. This is where the place for divide, like Fox Hollow divides. We're right in the center. We're down below down there, that's the center, and it divides into 4 different zones, as I mentioned. I don't think our scanners can reach that far in terms of land plots, but in each quadrant here there are land plots in each one, so that's going to be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, this Fox Hollow has a nice layout.
Kopi, are you still owning land? Are you going to be able to participate in the land plots, or did you have to relinquish? Yeah, awesome, that's good. So let's just turn off everything that you know about the game, and you're just a fan with us today. Like, what do you without giving any information, what are you excited about for like the land grab and things like that for yourself and as a gamer?
Uh, I think I'm going to represent myself in the game very similar to how I do in life. I like living rurally. I like having my own space. I like to visit the city when I choose to. So I think I'll definitely. I have a little little save folder, as I'm sure many of us do, on my desktop with all of my favorite land plots. And I had the I
Smart.
don't know how much it's known, but I just as much as I work in on events, I'm definitely spending all my time in QA as well. So I've searched every inch of these soluses. So definitely have a good feel of the ones I prefer over others.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are out there doing that, like making that calculation with their own kind of criteria. It's so interesting, like you say, like your own personality comes into play
Yeah.
because, like, I mean, it's been said many times, like the land here is like there are no bad land plots, so it's really just a lot of like a matter of preference where you want to be what you think is going to matter to you. And I wonder, for me, it's more about like my decision is, do I want to put all my land in the same area so it's like easier for me to access, or do I want to be spread out? And that's the conundrum that I find myself in. It's like, do I want to be all in one dome, or do I want to be spread out across all the domes? Is the real challenging question for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think e- even though some soluces I like more than others, there's definitely plots have found in each. I think there's going to be, you know, this is not something I know for a fact or anything, but I think there'll be some utility to having, or some, I don't know if utility is the right word, some benefits to having a plot in each.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, they're especially with the other domes coming, because I mean, all the three solaces seem pretty similar, but like, I know. I mean, there's gonna got to be resources in the desert land plot, that in the desert domes, that you can't have here in like this Colorado dome.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, I mean, being able to like spawn everywhere, that's what really matters as well, right? So you have, and also that probably is what might incentivize people to rent locations, because if you can spawn, if you're a free to play player and you at least want to use in game currency to go ahead and spawn at a whatever dome because you want to maybe potentially finish out a quest or start out a quest, or that's only found in that particular location, or if you're just trying to get to a certain resource faster or sooner because you like the land, then you guess what, you can just spawn at land plot ID whatever, right? So like, just because you are renting that location, so that's one huge benefit in my opinion, because you're not going through the public transportation system at that point. You're just spawning there instead of spawning at the sector hub.
There's some land plots over here that look pretty interesting, Eddie. Like down here on the ground, like there's like I'm guessing that's an epic down there. It might be a large.
Ooh,
Actually, I think it's probably a
you should
large, but
identify it.
it's by itself. I'm gonna go down there. I just
ID everything, and then let's try and guess which one which one is Rob's small line plot that he's trying to get.
Oh
In
yeah,
Solid.
because he said there's a small lamp light here. Yeah, I'm sure he'll love us doing that when all of a sudden like 70 bids. Oh, this is a large. It's 53 Fox Hollow.
Didn't he get?
Uh,
He got a legendary land plot, small land plot for that.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so we got to scope it out. No, we can't do that to Rob. My profile will just disappear.
Hey, you guys had a really good on your last episode. I really enjoyed the short talk about, kind of order of the land plot picking, and is it more useful to have more utility before you pick? It's going to create more excitement, stuff like that, or before all three zones are out.
yeah.
So I think a lot
Yeah.
about that. I think about what I'm most excited about, and I think most are, is what we're able to do with our land plots once we call them our own. Yeah.
If there, I totally agree that if there's nothing to do on the land, if there's nothing to build on the land, then it's just like a piece of grass. It's like owning a vacant land plot with no house on it yet. It's just sitting there. It's just not as exciting to me as the utility. And we know from the roadmap, without you having to tell us anything, that at least at the moment they're planning a ton of utility, a ton of things to do in the game over the next 6 months. It's all there in black and white, so it's not a secret that they're the farming, the building, the crafting, it's all coming. it's all being worked on right now for probably a build, 2 or 3 builds from now. So it's
Yeah,
what's 3 more months, 4 more months, I don't know.
Right.
It's for
yeah.
me, it's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not like some patient like Zen master. I'm as impatient as everybody else. I just think I'm going to make better decisions when I know more about what I can actually do on the land, and that's important to me because I don't want to do a land grab, regret the plot that I picked, then have to sell that land plot and go buy the land plot that I should have tried to grab later.
Right.
Because that's A, going to be more expensive, and B, it's not, just not how I want to play the game. I want to make the right decisions.
Right.
I feel like a lot of the land plots that are out there, though, like if you're looking for a nice scenery looking location, I don't think many are gonna be that bad. I mean, for me, I have my own opinion on it. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't want a land plot that's closer to the edge of Solace. That's just me. It's just an aesthetic choice that I think for me, because I feel like if you're close to a wall, then you're at that edge, right? So like, I feel like there's limitations there. That's just my opinion. But so like having openness and that feel of openness and not being able to see anything around you, other than other land plots, then that's, to me, that's what matters. But I think like aesthetically, like I think everybody's gonna have a really good looking land plot no matter what. It just
You have really
depends
good
on.
looking. This is a big copious right here on the outside of the land plot that
Ooh,
COPIBoar and I are
identify.
in. Yeah, it's 3 Fox Hollow. This is obviously not Rob's land plot. Did Rob say the land plot was closer in town, or was it more in the outskirts? Do we
He
know?
didn't say, he didn't know. Well, all he said is that it's a small land plot in Fox Hollow, and that's all he's gonna say. He wanted to find that location.
For all we
But it's-
know, the way he trolls is probably in the town next over.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get everyone to go bid on a land plot here in Fox Hollow, so he gets the one over in the town
he
over.
says,
That's classic Rob.
suckers.
Yeah, but this is it's crazy when you fly it now that we have the jetpacks and you're standing here in the Copias, and you just see how big it is.
Yeah, it's insane. And that's the thing too. I was always thinking about like the fact that you can build like one big large location, but you could also build multiple different locations. So that's what's cool about. I mean, really depends on how you build it, I guess, or maybe what the limitations are in the game, and not because we don't know all the exact details as to how big these crafting stations are, if they're small, like if they're one big build, how many could you have, like a like a large wood workshop versus and also like a small or a medium-sized like metalworks location, right? So that's what comes to mind as well. So sometimes those large locations are definitely beneficial. I mean, I know we already know that there's a disadvantage with small land plots where you can't make certain buildings fit in those small ones, and even maybe certain medium building structures.
So at this early stage, COPIBoar, where you are like learning about the game, are you already planning events, builds into the future, or are things changing so much that you're like, I can't even really plan these events that I might want to do until the build is out?
I mean, I do have things planned and on hold. And of course, yes, things do change. I mean, we get a hold of a build. I mean, they start cranking out a bunch, probably close to a month before it starts going out, a couple weeks. And that's when we start cranking out lots of builds. But so we have an idea of what's coming. But until it's in our hands, there's a lot of question. And then even, that first build to the last build, there's a ton that changes. So, you have to be kind of fluid with it all.
Keep over here by Fox Hollow, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are we running away? Yeah.
Hey, not to jump subjects on you, but I did want to jump back to talking about the land plot selection and some of the activities you guys are looking forward to. What would you guys consider? I mean, we all want people to be excited about this event, and we want eyes to be attracted to Cornucopias. Yeah. What do you think in your individual minds would be the MVP of things to do with your land plot to make it exciting for the community, for yourselves?
It's a great question. Yeah.
So for me, I the thing is, like, I'm probably different than like Faux here, because like he says he's not as as patient. I'm very extremely patient. Like, I don't really mind waiting for things to go and happen. But like, I think farming for me is just one of the things that I'm really looking forward to doing. Like, I'm a Animal Planets type of person.
Yeah.
So I love Animal Planets, Animal Crossing. Sorry, Animal Crossing game, which is on the Switch, and it's just a fun building your own island type of thing scenario, which is similar to this. It's a very, very popular game right now, and there's a community on it too. Like, actually, I was involved, not in terms of like a trading thing for them, and for that, in terms of like the tickets that you get, that you do, and that's just because you're able to like have certain rare things that happen at your location, that you can bring people over and start doing actual trades, like getting in-game currency for what you want to do and progress into the game. So like, that was really cool, because you got to meet for different people that way too, that were just love of the game. You know, they really are. I mean, Animal Crossing is very like polite. People say thank you, please. You know, it's very, very cool, very nice. So I'm thinking about the farming. It's just how you're building too, and the flexibility of how the buildings probably look. Is one thing as well, because a lot of game people are really focused on the mechanics of it all, in terms of how do things connect between one object to another, in terms of like a 2x4, right, and versus, you know, like, versus like the foundation, like, and how it all connects, like how much can be terraformed, as well as is one of the main things too, because a lot of it is all about creativity, and like you say, you know, we always talk about, you know, choose your own adventure. It's all about how much can we manipulate, right? How much can we change? Can we take that light post that's right there and move it out of the way because it's in my, you know, in the spot that I don't want it? And can we, you know, how far can we dig a hole in terms of, can we have a basement? How high can we build too? Because it's, you know, yeah, we have this beautiful thing, but can we build skyscrapers at some point, right? Like in the future, or how high can we go? There's got to be limitations at some point. So that's where I'm really excited. It's just the creativity portion of it. It's what you can really do. It's the tools that you get, the progression state. It's all of that. It's it's that, because then you can just have fun, grind, and do whatever you want, or, you know, make a hotel and build it to your liking, right? And you can have different offerings based on what your location has, in whatever station, and whatever workstation that you guys are planning to do as well.
I think early on in the build, or in the right now, like, I think about like one of my favorite things to do that could be doable early on in the game for events. And like, I think about like how I really enjoyed spending my time when I played World of Warcraft, because I played for years and I spent a lot of time there. One of my favorite things to do was, like, they have these rare spawns that drop like very specific items, you know, like, well, drop a pet, or but even just like as a check mark, I killed that rare. I mean, some of them would drop a mount and things like that, but some of them would have crazy spawn rates where it would spawn once every 3 days, and others would spawn once every 3 hours. And I think, like, if there's like an event that you could pull off early on in this coming build in this year, or in the next couple, I think that would be something that you could do, where like we all have one weapon. There's rare spawns with varying spawn rates from like a few hours to a week, and maybe only 6 people are going to kill the animal, the spawn that spawns, you know, once a week for 6 weeks in the next build for a competition. Because that would probably save you time if you could make a competition that lasted, you know, a whole month, you know, instead of like a day, that you could span it out and be an ongoing competition, where it'd be like, you know, and people are comparing notes, and like, I saw, you know, because we don't even know where they spawn, we got to run around the whole map looking for them.
Absolutely. When I came in and started to come up with like ideas of events we could do, I'd be like, oh, if we could just have the dev just this little thing, you know, this little piece, you know, like, maybe you could let me spawn a random item and, you know, have it show up in different places. But I learned really quickly, I just have to wait, and I get to work with what they give me. No, dev time. They have a plan. So I think, I think what's beautiful though is those things are coming quickly and in greater numbers. So I think the ideas for events are going to be vast and a lot quicker. And like I said earlier, we're definitely the server scaling, which we are currently testing right now, and I'm sure we'll have some sort of breaking corn event with that as well. But that's really been the big thing, because when we want to get a good number of people in here, that's kind of our Achilles heel. So
Yeah. I can imagine. I mean, I imagine an event like I described would bring a lot of people in because it would be, ongoing. I mean, it's funny because even right now, like usually our face boxes will block the chat, but there's been a chat going on between the Yankee and Oxcorn pretty much the entire show.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say that there was I would say the first 23 episodes we did, that 90% of the time it was just me and Eddie in Toledo. We were the only two people racing, and it is. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it too on your end testing the servers, that there has been not only an uptick, which was much higher when Solace first came out, but it didn't drop back down to pre-Solace levels where it was like a ghost town in the game. That there's definitely persistent. I would say every time we come in here, there's someone usually racing, or there's at least one or two people in Solace, and sometimes there's 5 or 6 people walking around planning stuff. And so that's been really good to see. I've been really happy about that.
I definitely lead that a lot to the jetpack travel and the excitement and the dynamic gameplay of that. Being able to, I mean, it's a whole different game.
Oh yeah, it completely changes the game, and it's a game changer for sure. And it's just that's literally what these are, a game changer. Because I love the top down view that you get looking down while you scan, like I'm doing right now, and you can kind of see the lay of the land from a different scope. That's why I do hope that they can increase the range on the scanner just a tad, just because of that. But that's actually really cool. I also do like the idea.
It's good. You have to travel around. You have to go move a little bit to the land plots too. I mean,
right.
It sucks when you're up high, but
yeah. But I do like the idea of like those like events. Like, I mean, the fact that, like, let's say, and the one thing that I think would need to happen with events also is to make sure that this events happen per like town or per district as well, because you want traffic to flow through those. So like, let's say one thing that comes to mind is like there's a, let's say this town, Fox Hollow, is being invaded by like multiple different, quantum monsters and needs help, and so people have to go there in order to help them out. To defend this area. I don't know how that looks like in terms of battle and combat and whatever. Or are they actually in the city, actually destroying the town and the people's progress of their buildings, or what?
I know, right? That's kind of scary to think about.
Right, exactly. I don't know, but this would be an event that people would have to go there, travel there, spend time. I mean, it's not like a quick, like, it shouldn't be, in my opinion. It wouldn't be an event that's like done in a few hours. It's like an event that you actually hold for like a day, or that on that day there's something going on, maybe 2 days. There's been an event that's going on, that's happening there. They need help. People should be arrested. So people have kind of flocked to those districts because they're trying to support them, trying to help them out. And you're also bringing traffic, out there as well. People will stay there. People will spend money in terms of food there. People, so that's the thing. And then next thing you know, then in a future event, you're in Timber, what is it called? Timber Creek, in a completely different location, and the same event happens over there. So it's like, it's all about driving traffic, I think, too. So, if you want to be part of the event and say that you beat it, you would actually go to these physical locations. I think that would be kind of cool.
I think it was really good how you did the racing event, where it was like a week-long event, but also it was like a 2-hour event too, where like for people to show up at the race, to get like corn points and things like that. But then then prizes, because I was like, the first racing event, there was like who had the fastest time in that first 2-hour window, and then who had the fastest lap time, and then who had the fastest overall time. I thought it was a really good way to do it, because it like made the event like immediate. Like, we all want to be here and make an exciting like broadcast that you and Scruffy did, which was pretty awesome the way you guys did that. But also like the the longer event that we were all give it for the whole week. There was people who had never raced before that were all week trying to get in that top 10, and I thought that was really a really good way to do that.
Yeah, the only issue for that, and on my personal wish list for being able to host events, I would love to be able to view the track as an announcer without having to race because I'm a terrible racer.
Yeah, because it's so hard for you to do, like. I was like, I remember being in like, of course, like it was hard for you to race because it's hard to talk and race. We know, we've learned that many times.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
I think it's funny, right? It's like you're hearing this loud music, right? And then when you want to concentrate, you lower the volume down. It's like, it's just like, for what? Like it's going to help you drive any better?
Yeah,
I'm definitely one of those people. I need silence to be able to concentrate. So yeah, being able to keep track and look at everybody, what they're doing, announce, listen to having the music in the background, it's game over. Yeah.
I mean, and Scruffy has the voice and personality for that to be of just really like. I mean, he's gonna shine. I think if that's what he ends up doing as part of his role on the team, if he's like doing live announcing for like racing or different events.
Oh yeah.
I think we got the we have the recipe for entertaining TV, whether it be on YouTube or part of like the Discord broadcast.
Yeah, that is definitely ingrained in him. He has the announcer voice for sure.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, right? Like, if let's say we had, like, I think we talked about this on an episode of where you have like a radio station that people can flick through, and then you have like the COPIBoar's channels on. Oh man, and then it's just like a recording of like something that loops every so often, right? It's just I think that would be really cool. Next thing you have like is it Wise Guys? Is that the name of the apps? So like then you have them right coming through, and same thing like and then the AtC. Then you have a bunch of different creators just creating stuff
and then you mix in some of Seven's music, and you've got like a really cool celebration of the community. That would be pretty epic.
So just that community involvement would be kind of cool, just to be able to flip through and just hear different different radio channels, even hopefully in the future, if actual music, that can be licensed at some point.
Yeah, I can't even find a small lamplighty. Like I mean, these are all epics and larges around here.
Yeah, I found a few, and hopefully it wasn't Rob's, but if it is, I'm sorry.
I feel like the smalls are either tucked away in different forests, or at the base of lakes, or compounded closely in towns. But I guess those are usually large and epics too. So
have you been like at all part of like the the resource moving around? Because I know that the resources aren't in some of this in the same places. Like because I haven't come across a single fishing or mining over here. Have you any?
Yeah. No, yeah, like I was just gonna mention that even the logging for Fox Hollow is way up north. It's actually closer to Sunnyside, which is the other town for this district. But it's resource wise, it's gonna be a struggle for in terms of wood. I feel like they just have to do some traveling there. Hopefully,
but you know what? That makes me like a skeptic. I'm like, what do they have planned for this area? Because if it's not mining, fishing, or logging, they got something. It's gonna be awesome. I want to, like that's how I think about it. They're not gonna leave this place out. Yeah, there's gonna be something here that's like pretty valuable. So, I know you can't answer that, but I just something I've noticed.
There might be a cave. Yeah. There might be a hidden cave that Kopi's about to really reveal. It's like, come here, come this way.
Yeah, right. There's like, actually, we have a sinkhole planned for 3 builds from now that's going to open up right here and reveal gold mining.
No, thankfully there is still as much as we know a lot about everything, the department's also I don't know that kind of stuff, which is great because when we do find out. The biggest thing I miss about being in the community is that excitement hit when new things come out and the speculation prior to, I mean, you guys are beautiful speculators. That was like the most fun thing about doing content is you get to speculate. But you still have that initial reaction when we get the news. It might be a cycle 6 months ahead of you guys, but when we get like super amped and we're all like, yeah, this is awesome, and then by the time you get it, we're like, yeah, I'm glad you guys got it, but it's a different cycle of hype, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like when you buy a really great present for your wife or girlfriend, and like you get the excitement, like when you decide what to buy, when you buy it, and then the excitement again when you get to give it to them. So it's actually 2 rounds of excitement for you.
Yeah, and even though you have an idea what it is in your head, I mean, the way it ends up developing is always different. So it's still all very exciting for sure.
That leads to a good question, because like like stuff that we've gotten, is there anything that like you heard about and then when you saw it, it was like it was like, oh wow, that's even better than I imagined? Like, is there that's something that's come across your eyes where when we finally released that you heard about, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, that's way better than I imagined?
Oh man, well I don't know if that's oh man.
Yeah, I know, put you on the spot.
I think because of the rate of the builds and how we see things change, the most exciting thing is seeing how it changes right in front of you. But I think the coolest thing was those Nexus terminals recently,
Yeah.
like how the inventory changed. I mean, the inventory changed greatly, and how that all worked, and being able to see how they integrated it and had to change things. I mean, that was a huge, huge, huge deal. It may not come across that way, but that was a big part of the upcoming changes and integrating NFTs into the inventory and stuff like that. And that was pretty cool to see come to fruition. And I guess jetpacks as well. You started with seeing the basic movements in their test area, and then you got to test it out without any of the animation or the poses, and then they added sound, and then they added, it's just like the process. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think we take it for granted too, because like the avatar builder, it's been new features have been added,
Yeah.
and it was like that was such a big deal when it came out, that it was like that was like 2 or 3 builds in the making, where they were like, the avatar builder's coming, the avatars builder's coming.
Yeah.
And it's been like I wouldn't say there were any bugs when it first came out, but I do think it's been more like you've been able to get your avatar more and more like you would want it to do as time has gone on. Like, there's been like little nuanced changes, and I think that's like a sign of like how really good this game is going to be, that these things they're never like broken like you see in some games, that they're always like here's a working version of it. And I always say this is the worst this game will ever be right now, because they just keep improving the graphics a little bit on the avatars. Like, you can see it, and we already take it for granted because you noticed it that first day, and then now this is just the new normal. We keep getting these new normals now, and so with the inventory the same way. That's like, especially with NFTs, that's so complicated. And here we are, it's just like, I'm going to go to the Nexus and get my backpack, and here I am with my inventory. I'm going to move it around, and it's just incredible, really, how much progress this has been making, because these things, like you say, they're not easy.
Yeah, you're spot on with the avatar creator. I mean, even this last build, there was changes to the skin texture. There was changes
the hair
to
for the hats too.
Yeah, and there were changes to all of the clothing material card. I mean, they're always improving, and it's by far from finished. But yeah, I do think we're a bit spoiled in when you don't see the whole process, you don't get to appreciate it as much. Like, it's really, really something. So
Eddie, I'm gonna go resource hunting here too. I'm gonna go try to find something.
Sounds good.
See how far away it is.
But I also want to touch on the inventory stuff, like in terms of like, I mean, because it's true, Copy. Like, it's like, in terms of like, people think the inventory is that's like, oh, I'm making a big deal of it, but it is a big deal, because it's all about how you choose, what model you choose, and they chose a model of the grid system with this inventory system, which it's kind of brilliant because there's not everything is the same size, right? Like, you got different tools, different resources, you got single items, cans and food items. So, and they all have different shapes. Like, backpacks are 4 squares, and then you have like tools that are like 5 or 6 squares, or even more than 8, like 6 by, I think it was like 12 by like 4. I think it was. I can't remember how big that pickaxe was, but it was interesting. And I like the fact that you would have to literally figure out the inventory puzzle to kind of figure out what's the most efficient way to use your backpack. So it's like, even though you have all these items, then you might necessarily need to like drop something just because you have to configure it in a certain way in there. And I love the system. I like the fact that you have storage on your person, as well as like your you have your outfit, and then you also, which is locked right now for me, and then I have backpack. So clearly outfits are going to have some sort of functionality in terms of storage, like maybe light items. I'm assuming that's just again in speculation. But the fact that I'm putting on the large backpack on now, which by the way you can just hit BA. Like if you're in a controller, just hit BA. It's easier to use versus dragging things
Really?
over.
Just BA?
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
basically, when you're
whoops.
highlighting something on your inventory screen, you typically B and then A. B brings up the menu screen, and then A is whatever whatever you're highlighting to select to make it. So I can quickly BA, equip the backpack, my Luna backpack, and then I can hit BA to switch over to the pink backpack and so on. So and same with jetpacks.
I thought it was when we figured out the first day that you can't put a backpack in a backpack, and I thought that was really smart because I was like, you know, you would never put a backpack in a backpack, so of course there's some things that can't go in a backpack, right? Like that makes total sense.
Yeah,
infinite loop of backpacks and backpacks. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so. It definitely adds another level of gameplay for storage, I think, and I think it's a small detail for gamers, but it's massive for someone like me, and people really do appreciate different levels of different ways that people do in their games, how they handle storage and how they move inventory. Yeah. So this is going to be very, very exciting.
Are you like a hoarder? Like, are you I'm the kind of person that's constantly organizing my bags in games, right? Like where I like which are you?
I definitely like to keep everything organized for sure. So that's another thing too. Most games, by the way, when they come out, almost I swear, like 99 to 100% of the games out there never have their filter system done, like their sorting system for inventory. So I don't even expect that to happen with Cornucopias, but. Like, and I mean, like, so once you get an item, you can have filters, right, to how you sort your bags, like that. No game ever starts out with that mechanics ready out the door for some. It comes in that later. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, it's
where you just like hit a button to like optimize your inventory. You mean, or like sell all commons kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah, they usually don't come like ready with that. Some, unless you maybe like Skyrim, I think it took a little bit for them to really kind of narrow it down. But yeah, I think.
Right now, David's like challenge accepted. Next build.
Yeah, it's just that's just what I've noticed. But I'm definitely I'm gonna be having a lot of places to store. Hopefully at my home base location. I just picked up 2 uncommon smalls recently with the recent drop in land plot sales. I think I'm gonna be happy with those. I'm gonna find some land plots for those. Well, I'm definitely gonna be spreading out.
So speaking of NFTs, did you see that the Juggernaut what the price is already for a common?
Oh no, what is
441 ADA as of this when we started broadcasting for a common, which is ADA's at about $1 each, so it's about $150 above or $100 above mint price.
Oh. Hell yeah! See, it's smart. The reason why this is it's smart to and they're still on sale on base. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah.
They have to be. Yeah. They're still on sale. If you're on base and you have USDC, it's $350, and then you can just go ahead and purchase yourself a cheaper.
Dang it, Eddie! I wish you hadn't said that because after we're done recording, I wanted to get a second one, and this will give me an excuse to set up my base wallet. I am going on base to buy it after this.
Hey, maybe it's meant to be. Yeah. There you go. Let's
how did you do? What did you get? You got one Juggernaut. You want to make a big reveal?
I got one. I got a common.
Mythic?
I got a common.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I
not
got a
to brag.
No, I'm happy that I got a common, to be honest. I mean, I'm happy to get any of it. I'm happy to get any, just one. I mean, just because there's the limit. I mean, it's only 600 total, right? Or is it a little bit higher than that?
760 total, yeah.
760 total. So it's like, it's kind of in a world where we expect it to be like hundreds of thousands of players playing. Like, I mean, this is 600 is not that much.
It'll be really interesting when other transportation vehicles come out to find out what turns out to be the optimal for some people. Is it going to be the Juggernaut? Is going to be the hands down the best, or are you going to find that like, oh, for you in your situation, it's actually 3 of this, smaller version is best for you because it's like, I could. Because like the Juggernaut could just end up sitting in my garage at some point because it's like, oh well, I'm only utilizing half the capacity of it. So and it costs X amount of fuel to use. So for me, it actually makes more sense to use 3 of these ones. Like it's going to be interesting to see how that math works itself out.
Maybe it's just a standing warehouse for you.
Yeah,
That's where you unload all your loot.
Do we just get a leak there from you? Is that an idea?
No,
or
that is definitely speculation. What I was going to ask is, so are you implying you're going to do a live recorded Juggernaut mint pull right now?
If I didn't have to go on Coinbase, maybe I'll record it and put it in the bloopers. I'll record it because like I got to go onto Coinbase, deposit some cash, send it to ETH, send to base, do the whole rigmarole. But yeah, I will. I mean, because I did pretty good. I feel like I got very fortunate. I got an uncommon Juggernaut, so I feel like that's for how much supply there is. That's very, very fortunate for me to get.
That's fantastic, actually. Congratulations on that pull.
And I believe the Knights Guild did really well with their 7 Juggernauts. They got a legendary. I think
nice.
three uncommons, and the rest commons, something like that. But they did get one legendary pull on 7 Juggernauts. So
that one is my favorite color scheme for sure. I like that one.
And then to top it off, they spent about half amount the ADA that they were planning to too. So the Knights Guild did pretty well.
I believe that one's
color scheme.
It's like tan. It looks like it's ready to go to Esperanza.
Okay. Let me see. Actually,
I found mine. I found mine. I don't know where I am right now in terms of towns.
Right now,
I'm more in the.
I'm on the base scan right now.
Look at this little. Oh wow, this entrance looks so different than what did they change this? Do you know? Because they used to be much bigger, I think, or is it just?
There are sorry, I just to cut you off there, but going back to 101 Juggernauts are on base right now.
All right, so to buy 101 Juggernauts, how much cash do I need?
A lot to multiply that.
$35,000.
They're slowly ticking up there. There was about 90 this morning, so it's about
nice.
A couple an hour.
Yeah. I don't imagine they will last through the week.
Yeah.
Man, I hope it does, because I want to buy another one. I need either that or I need to move some money around, but I definitely want another one. But man, I don't know. We'll see if I do it. I did just buy on just now. I did just buy a legendary NFT 2 tree, the first one, the first generation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Actually, just pulled that sucker out. Someone was selling it for 180. I figured, why not? That's a decent price.
As far as you know, I mean, we're gonna get that information about the trees hopefully pretty soon. I mean, I wonder if well, let's ask this, COPIBoar, the events you're gonna have going forward. I know it's hard to figure out what they are, but do you have is there going to be big events where you could win maybe a Juggernaut, or you maybe a really nice land plot, kind of stuff? Is that the kind of stuff to entice people to want to participate, or what other ideas are kicking around?
Well, I would say the more people we are able to get in game, the better the prize pool.
Okay.
I would go that route. I mean, it's definitely incentives to get new players and to get large amounts of players. So yeah, that's always been kind of the gist, is especially with the upcoming larger racing, when we do have the server scaling, that will be a very large tournament, much bigger prize pools. And as far as these new NFTs, yeah, we'll have some of them, I would assume, but not until a bit further into the future. But
yeah, but I still, I mean, the idea that you have you give away NFTs for even the trivia night is mind blowing to me. That's been, I haven't participated in that until recently.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's D&D game is now, fortunately going on the same time as
Nice.
trivia night, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, I really like sitting there. I mean, I know maybe this annoys some people, but I enjoy making fun of the movies and comments and making jokes about it with
That's the
everyone
best
there.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our own Mystery Science Theater 2000 or 3000,
Exactly.
right there in Discord.
And we're coming into the best season of all Christmas movies. So
oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
You got any good Christmas movies lined up, or you're thinking about? You usually put it up for a vote, right? What
we
movie?
are going. Yeah, we're going up with votes now to get the best part.
I voted for Spaceballs, by the way.
Nice. Well, you won, sir. You won.
Yeah, I won.
Yeah. Well, there is the controversial Christmas movie is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? So
It's not controversy at all. It is clearly a Christmas movie. It's so much a Christmas movie. They made a second version of it. Die Hard 2 it takes place on Christmas as well. So that tells you that it was a Christmas movie.
yeah, something tells me that will win the votes for sure when that goes up.
Yeah, I have to, Die Hard. What is Die Hard rated? Is that like
That may be an exception, as
Yeah.
it is a team favorite. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. No, I don't. I'm trying to think of Die Hard. I think it's probably just the guns and a little bit of violence, but I think
Yeah, I
by today's
definitely
standards, it's
try to
pretty
stay family friendly. I may have had one or two faux pas on that, but yeah, a lot of times people have their families watch along with. So I definitely keep that. I try and keep it
Yeah.
to the Corn family friendly ways, and generally, so many of us are in the same generation where we grew up in the watching 80s and 90s stuff, and it holds a big portion of our hearts.
I watched
and
Die Hard as a
minds,
kid.
so.
Yeah, I remember watching. I remember staying over. I have an older brother, by about 18 years, and I remember staying over at his apartment when I was young, and he had all these DVDs, and I was like, or I guess they were probably VHSs back then,
Yeah.
and I watched Die Hard. I watched it 3 times that night. Just like I was like, this is so cool. I'm staying up, and he didn't make me go to bed, and I just watched Die Hard. So
I think it would be really cool if like I mean, I'm not sure if this is even doable considering there's got to be a lot of things in the work. So I used to also work in movie theaters back in the day, and so and the idea of like you doing these events reminds me of the movie theater. It's like I remember also Netflix had a version on the Xbox where you can all hang out, and actually you would have your avatar on the Xbox console, and everybody would walk into this like simulated like movie theater in the front where you can see your avatars in the front row as you're watching the movie. This is again no longer a feature on the Xbox. So this is like Xbox 360, I want to say. It was really, really cool. So it reminds me of those events. So I really appreciate these events that you're doing, and it also just goes into the fact that like, man, it kind of would be cool if, like, again, going back to me being in the movie theater biz at some point. That holding movie theater, like having a venue at a town in the game where you can actually go in and watch a movie, like a movie theater with your friends in game, from wherever they're, because people will be building relationships here. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be finding a brand new friend in Brazil or in Spain.
Over under 2 years from now for the first Cornucopias marriage.
Yeah, exactly. Where did you meet Cornucopias? Yeah, we got married in game. Like
exactly.
it'd be insane, right? So
I mean, I think already for anybody that has been here from the beginning or close to it, we are pretty darn close and pretty tied together in our experiences. So that wouldn't be far off. I do think as we go here and we get more of, as we transfer of a lot of these events being focused around the gameplay and us showing up in game, it's really going to evolve into that where we're spending a lot more time in the actual game and interacting that way as opposed to in Discord, and it'll kind of slowly drift from that. Of course, Discord will always be around, but especially once we get in-game chat and however that is hosted. But yeah, I look forward to that transition and going to go visit somebody's, like, oh, we're all gonna go to Eddie Z's house today. We're gonna meet up at Eddie Z's house, and he's gonna show us what he's been building. There's just
exactly.
I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about that kind of stuff. That is the exciting part of like build our community coming to life in the real way, the way we've all imagined this to come along, and Good feeling. Good feeling.
We're at like about an hour of record time. I was gonna leave it up to COPIBoar for final thoughts. Do you have anything else to add to that, or do you want? I mean, that's a pretty beautiful final thought there. I don't know.
Well, final thoughts. I guess you guys are inspirational on the way you guys keep this up, and it's a huge value to the community. You You do the work that, and you say the things that you ask the questions that is on everyone's minds. It
Hmm.
brings our community to life in another way. So thank you for doing that. And I just look forward to these big monumental steps that we continue to take and hopefully not take for granted and enjoy the process along the way.
Yeah.
Um, because as I've said, I love the process, and that's what is really special about Cornucopias, and what I think has attracted us to all of us to a part, because it's not the way game development has been known to happen in the past. So we
Hmm.
are all a part of it in a really special way. So I think it's really exciting what we have coming ahead, and I just look forward to every bit of it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm really I like to I hope that we have inspired, like, the and Mafia's got their own little their own show now too, and like I and that that people see us out, two idiots out here doing something, fun and hanging out, but like they're like those two guys can do it, we certainly can do it. So like, and it's
Hmm.
cool. I hope that like there's more of that, and we're all like coming together and doing this and being a part, because like you said, like this community is very tight knit. It's probably, I mean, I would say where like a lot of communities are tight knit over the value of the underlying token to a large degree, that there's definitely some of that here, but this project is tight knit mostly over the game, which makes it even
Hmm.
more unique in crypto, because because like it's hard to get tight knit over like Wi-Fi, right? Like it's
Right.
hard to get tight knit over like a decentralized exchange,
Yeah.
because it's just not as emotionally as exciting as this game is, and so that intrinsically makes us more connected, I feel like, and it's awesome to be here and be part of it. It's awesome that you, who were one of us, is now one of them and still one of us.
Hmm.
We love that, man, and we're just like so grateful to have you doing the work that you're doing. Eddie, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, yeah. Well, first, I had something in my mind, so like I want to just give a shout out to TK. TK's he like we do it to people, for people like TK. TK, I met him on in the game room channel on Discord, and he just basically just gave us a shout out, Faux, in terms of like the fact that he loves the fact that we're streaming these events and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
so like it helps him. He said it helps give him optimism in the game, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted to, what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So people like TK, that's exactly what this is for, and so we want to kind of showcase the game, show the progress. I know you're not able to, access the game at this point in time,
Oh,
but
is
it
TK
will come.
kind of learning the land plots through us? Is that yeah? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just
cool.
gameplay, or even just streaming on Discord as well. Because I will go into Discord and just start streaming just for the hell of it. Like I'll invite
Mhm.
people to race. So be on the lookout. I mean, I typically try to like say, hey, anybody want to race? And it's just really just to kind of get people going, or at least I'm gonna be in the game room ones every now and again to just stream and show people the game and whatever they want to see. I think I gave Jupe a tour actually when he first, because he was out of PC for a little bit. Um, but yeah, just honestly, just I'm so excited that you can see the game come into life. That's what I really enjoy. Um, I can't wait. Honestly, I really I'm super excited for what's to come, man. This is great. And COPIBoar, thank you for coming on here as well. Like Faux said, it's like being one of us, and now we're one of them, and you can see you got all the nifty tools and stuff. You can probably even make it date morning now, huh?
Could I might get in trouble for that one in production.
Changed the time. Changed
Yeah,
it.
it's like, no, it's cool because we're winding down right as it's getting nighttime, so we timed it pretty good. Eddie and I thank the Knights Guild for letting us be a part of their amazing community. Make sure you follow them on X. Use the links in the description to join their Discord and their website. Thank you to Rob, Josh, David, and especially, again, one more time, COPIBoar for joining us. Everyone in the community, keep your eyes out, for that community events tab in Discord. That's where you're going to find COPIBoar most often, I think, is in there promoting events, planning new events. And if you want to be part of the success of this game, and if you want to be part of this community, there's really no better way to do that than to participate in the events. So definitely keep your eyes out, even if it's only for 5 minutes on a trivia night. Come in and answer one question. If you get it right, it's worth 100 corn points. And as Rob talked about, out or is it 200 corn points? I don't remember. 100. So, as Rob talked about in the in this last Kopi Cafe, the corn points are merging. These corn points are obviously important because if you had 75,000 of them, you had a chance at a whitelist spot. So participate in these events, and you're gonna have not only be a better part of the community, but you're gonna also get an advantage over it in the game as well. So definitely do that. Finally, please subscribe to Around the Corn's YouTube channel so you don't miss next week's episode. Until then, Eddie, me, COPIBoar, we will all see you around the corn.